I got into roller derby because my wife wanted to check it out. And in New York, it's on TV, so you can watch it sort of on the local channels. And we watched some, and it looked fun, and we went, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Gotham bout, New York City. It was awesome. And now I was like, well, I want to get involved in this, because the environment was really great. It was a lot of fun. And I called about reffing. I didn't realize there was a men's team. And one of the contact people said, you know, there's a men's team. You should try and skate for them. That kind of came about because I have a hockey background, and I was mentioning that for reffing. I'm like, shouldn't take me long to get used to quads, blah, blah, blah. And after that contact, I went to a practice, and I was sold. Didn't take much. It was a blast. My derby highlight? I don't know. You know, sometimes my derby highlights are in practice, because a lot of our guys are pretty fantastic. So if I get any kind of great block on Jonathan R., that's kind of a highlight. That's a highlight. I don't forget that. I think that Mohawk Cup this year, that whole tournament was a highlight for me. I've been not skating with the A team on a bout before that, and I felt like I could. I'd had a leg injury that just wouldn't go away. You know, muscular, so you think you can plan it, but it's just you don't have everything. And I'd finally gotten rid of it. So I had a really strong tournament, really strong bout every bout, and that was sort of like a coming out for me. Suicider is her name. She was out in New York and found Jonathan R. at one of our bouts in Long Island, and brought up that there was a Manchester team and there was a guys team as well, and I think this was a year ago at least. And Jonathan really got into the idea, and he pushed it for a long time. We originally talked in July, but with the Olympics, that just didn't make a lot of sense. And we all knew we wanted to go, but a lot of the timing initially wasn't really working out. So we said, if we can pump this back, you know, maybe like October, November, we'd all be into it. And everybody was into it. You know, even the guys that couldn't make it all wanted to be here. But that's how it came about. It's actually your idea. And it bloomed out of that. We knew there were teams, and we knew Ballistic, and he's been over several times to skate our practice, so we knew what was going on. We didn't know the caliber or how many leagues or anything like that. Once the idea of this trip started coming together, we started learning about other leagues in England and communicating with them, and it was great to learn there were so many leagues and everyone was so positive and wanted us to come out, and it was really easy for us to put together the schedule. We could have played every day while we were here if we wanted to. We knew we couldn't really pull that off, but you know, in like a week's period, we're playing 2 big bouts, 3 scrimmages, and a couple, you know, boot camps. So there's a lot to do. Yeah, you know, I'm terrible with names. I like 808. He doesn't stop. You know, he's a little guy, but he just keeps going. That's great. As a jammer, you don't want to stop moving ever. Jarvis, I noticed too, a couple things he was doing that were good, you know, and it was just a matter of doing that and then moving on to faster. So 60 can hit like a beast, absolutely. Yeah, those were the ones that stood out to me, but everyone's there. I mean, you know, when you look at the score, yes, like we put up a ton of points, but there's a lot of good skaters out there. It's the same thing with Manchester. You know, derby's different now. A few years ago, you put up 300 points on some teams, and that doesn't really happen anymore. It's one thing when you have a bunch of good skaters that don't play as a team, and now teams are figuring that out and starting to play better teamwork and everything. So even the Manchester bout, it looks like this big win, but it's not easy. You know, they're good skaters, and they're just going to get better. You know, all these teams are going to get better.